Hello, everyone. Today is a monumental day, beyond belief. And this one will go down in history as a day that will absolutely change the format of this state in many, many, many ways. You know, there's been a lot of talk over a long, long period of time, decades in fact, where people were going to absolutely solve the broadband problem throughout West Virginia. You know, when it really boils right down to it, you know, I think of Chelsea Ruby. Chelsea Ruby sitting in my office at the mansion or in the library at the mansion and saying, you know, it's pathetic that in the state of West Virginia, we don't have broadband like everybody else. It's really sad in lots of ways, and it keeps and drives a lot of people out of West Virginia or restricts them from coming to West Virginia because they can't believe it. They can't believe it when they get here and they absolutely look at really what's going on across our state. And we've had a lot of big problems to attack over the last years and years. You know, when I walked in the door, I mean, just think of the deficit levels that we had. We've built with these great people that are right behind me right today and many more. We built a rainy day fund in excess of $1 billion. We changed those absolute budgets, you know, deficits to budget surpluses. We absolutely have our pension funds that are now at record levels as far as their funding. We've given pay raises to the highest in state history to our teachers, to all the service, all of our workers in state government. Tourism's exploding. There's a lot of orange cones out there everywhere as far as the roads are concerned. In some way, somehow, we're getting through this COVID disaster. But really and truly, what we really need to do right now is take another great big step forward. Today, I am announcing a $1 billion broadband strategy. You know, it's like nothing that we've ever done before. Absolutely, we have a chance and an opportunity now to really fix this. You know, as we go forward for folks that are just trying to simply do things like pay their medical bills or do their schoolwork or run a business, absolutely they'll have the opportunity to do so in West Virginia. Now, it's taken a lot of great people. We stood on the Capitol steps, not long ago. These people right behind me. We made a promise. Did we not make a promise? Well, today we're fulfilling that promise. You know, surely in West Virginia, we've got a lot of real challenges with broadband. It's mountainous, and our populations are rural. In lots of situations, there's not very many people that we've got to go a long way to be able to reach and get to. And so therefore it's very expensive. Absolutely, there is no reason why we have absolutely been so long and so far behind. So there's people all around me right now. We want to be thankful to our senators. We want to be thankful to our congressmen and congresswomen. We want to be thankful to all those that are putting in the licks. But really and truly, right this moment, right now, we're going to change the trajectory of West Virginia in a bigger and better way. Absolutely, without any question, this is going to be the largest broadband investment that we've ever made. We want to massively expand the broadband networks. We're going to make available an additional 200,000 or more homes in West Virginia. The work will go on from the private sector through the federal government and through the local governments. We're going to use and take advantage of the RDOF funds that we did. You know, we were able to attract $362 million into the state of West Virginia. And we did that because because last fall, we moved up the state guarantee level to make sure that our ISPs could get every last possible dollar of that federal money. we took a really bold move. All these folks right here and myself, I sent the bill up. We took a really bold move that enabled us to grab $362 million of that money. And just think, West Virginia is now getting the most, I love the most, or first, the most FCC dollars per capita of any state in America for broadband. Now, we've worked together. I thank the legislature for working hand in hand. Like I said, I thank our senators, I thank our congressmen and congresswomen. There's been a lot of great work. But in addition to that, today we're putting another $100 million into this thing. This is going to be our phase one. Not just $100 million, all of it inclusive together, $1 billion. It's going to absolutely set us on a pathway in West Virginia like none of us could ever dreamed of. It's taken a lot of work and a lot of cooperation from a lot of folks. You see an awful lot of them standing right here. I could never thank them enough. And absolutely, that's what we want to do. We want to just keep moving West Virginia forward in every way. Now, I'm going to pass the ball right now to Mitch Carmichael. Mitch is our Secretary of Economic Development. He's doing a great job. He's tremendously familiar, and absolutely, he's going to tell you a lot more, but I couldn't be happier, really and truly. You know, there's too many things in West Virginia that have been really tough through this pandemic, but today is a landmark day. That's for daggum sure. But Mitch, take over, sir.
Well, thank you, Governor, and it is a landmark day. And I want to thank you personally and thank the legislators that have had such a big part in structuring this program that makes available over $1 billion for investment in new broadband opportunities throughout West Virginia. And the focus of the program, it's clear from the U.S. Treasury and clear from the governor and the legislature, is to go serve those who do not have service. And it's really inspiring work to do that. We've structured the programs in order to put broadband, high-speed, gigabit fiber optic cable to homes in West Virginia that will enable distance learning, remote work, telehealth, all the things that are so incumbent on a 21st century economy. And these are the tools that we have in place now to move forward to deploy those assets. And we've already structured, with the help of the legislature and under the direction of the governor, 4 programs that will enable the funds to flow to the ISPs and to the entities that will make these networks available, will ensure that there's no overlap in competing funding streams, that the networks are smart, coordinated, and deployed in a world-class manner. These programs, and we have lots of detail on them, but we'll just be very brief in saying the first is a line extension program. And I think probably all the people in the audience and those here are aware of all those moments when you hear your neighbor say, I have broadband, but my neighbor has it, but I can't get it. And that occurs over and over and over. So we've structured a program to help deploy and extend those existing networks to get that last mile to those very valuable, precious citizens. Also, we have a fund established that will incentivize local communities to come together, and we'll help them with matching funds, help them with network design, to deploy the assets that will build the networks and utilize a coordinated, synergistic approach to expand broadband networks. And then the couple other programs, one is a major project initiative that builds big data pipes into remote areas of West Virginia that would otherwise take years to deploy. And then finally, Governor, you mentioned Chelsea Ruby and how she manages the state parks and makes sure that broadband's deployed in those areas. We have state parks that do not have broadband service. And so we have a fixed wireless program that will quickly reach those areas. And so I think this program has been basically approved at the federal government level. We'll be filling up these buckets at the state level. And I just want to take a moment to thank you and the legislature for all the work that's been done to this point to be able to deploy these assets in the most efficient manner. And I look around my colleagues and I see those who have, and you, Governor, who have worked so hard to make it available to attach fiber optics to poles, to dig once policies, for rights-of-way issues, all the things that have created an environment that West Virginia currently is near last in America in terms of broadband connectivity. But let me just say this. Right now, West Virginia is experiencing some of the most incredible economic growth in our history. Governor, we have, and you've alluded to the fact that we are top 10 in America in terms of GDP growth in the second quarter. That's an amazing statistic. We have the highest growth in the Southeast or the Midwest. Our unemployment of 4.8% is nearly 10% less than the national average. You've generated budget surpluses of over $400 million last year, and that's a transition from when you took office to a $500 million deficit. Already this year, you're running $140-some million in surplus. Rainy day funds over $1 billion. Pension funds are all basically fully funded. And you've done all this, and it's all this success with the worst broadband in America. Can you imagine now, with the $1 billion investment and the 200,000 homes minimum that will be deployed with these assets that you've made available, the sky is the limit for our growth and our opportunities and our prosperity. And I know that, lots of times, Tom Brady gets the accolades for being the greatest of all time, the GOAT, right? I think this administration gets the award for greatest. You're the GOAT, Governor. And because of that, I think it's a great day to celebrate this moment of incredible investment in West Virginia, a recognition that we need broadband, the programs have been established, and we're off and going with the legislature's help and allocation and your funding. Thank you.
Well, let me say this, Mrs. Words are really kind up until calling me the GOAT. But Brady's pretty tough now. I got to give you that. But nevertheless, you don't do this thing. You don't do anything in life by yourself. To think that we've been able to accomplish all that we've accomplished and have broadband as bad as it is in West Virginia, I hadn't really ever thought of that before. I really hadn't. But the door is open. The door is wide open for us now to really go. This is an absolute unbelievable day. And to think that we're going to put a stake in the sand, $1 billion broadband program and everything, and as we go forward, this is just really our phase one. As we go forward, we're going to continue to invest, and we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to make it better and better until we have absolutely flipped every rock. And before I go, before I sign off here, I want to just say this. We've got the President of our Senate, Craig Blair, here, and our Speaker of the House, Roger Hanshaw, and many, many, many senators and many delegates. And they put in a lot of long hours, and they put in a lot of great work. And I appreciate them more than you'll ever know. And in addition to that, we've got some folks that, that Jordan is going to call up that's on with us now. And if we've got any delegates or senators, y'all come on up here. Come on. We've had some that were working so hard that they didn't get here and everything. And they just keep working. That's all there is to it. But I want you here because I need your help. We got a birthday today. This beautiful lady right behind me, Amy Grady. Now, and even though it's not going to sound all that hot, because I know Craig's going to lead us, I want us to sing happy birthday to her. So Craig, start us off and you lead us. You got the mic. Come on, Craig, let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Amy.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Good job, good job. Jordan, I'm to you now, I guess.
All right, thank you, Governor. We'll now hear from United States Senator Joe Manchin.
Thank you so much. And Governor, thank you and all the legislatures for being there. I appreciate it. This is an all hands on deck because this is a one in a lifetime opportunity that we're going to have. All of us working at federal level, knowing that the partnerships that it takes to make these things successful. But, you know, we're talking of something not just is going to be life changing. This is generational changing. We have, with the amount of money that's coming from the federal government, and we've had with the CARES Act and also the American Rescue Plan, is $2.55 billion has come directly to the state of West Virginia on that. And then we had $679 million that has gone to the local counties and municipalities, and they have some flexibility. But what it takes a game plan. What you're putting together today, Governor, is exactly what it takes. The highest priority we have, this connectivity is the same as my grandparents, your grandparents and great-grandparents went through the 1930s when there was no electricity. That was a game changer in the quality of life for everybody in West Virginia and America when electricity was basically distributed to everybody. And internet is that same type of infrastructure that's needed for us to be able to compete and improve the quality of life in West Virginia, as we can do. But when you look at all this coming through, the American Rescue Plan, never have we seen this in my lifetime or have I ever read about it in history, and I don't think we'll ever see it again. With the COVID packages that we put together in a bipartisan way last year, the American Rescue Plan that was done this year, the basically bipartisan infrastructure bill that's sitting over in the House, waiting for a vote, everything that has happened and everything that I believe will happen when we pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill, will give the state of West Virginia $840 million directly for broadband. And you're putting it to good use by matching it with state funds. And I appreciate that, Governor. I appreciate all of us in this together. This is not politics. It's not Democrat or Republican. This is good policy. And our people need it. And I'm so thankful to work with you and making sure the legislature, all of us, have all the information you need and all the tools to be successful for the people of West Virginia. So God bless the great state of West Virginia. May God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next, we'll go to United States Congress.
Thanks. Senator, thank you so much. And you're right. You're right in the fact that how Shelley has stepped up, Senator Capito, and all of our congressmen and congresswomen, and we cannot be more thankful. You know, really and truly, it is a day without question that we all are pulling the rope together and making it happen together. So thank you, sir.
The whole thing about what you're saying is absolutely correct. It's up to you all to manage it. You and the legislature now taking the bull by the horns and putting the highest priority we have is connecting West Virginians to the world, West Virginians to the economic power of the internet. That's what you're doing. That's the highest priority. And God bless you all for doing that. And we'll be right behind you.
We'll now hear from United States Congressman David McKinley.
Thank you. And Governor, congratulations on your focus in the legislature in accomplishing this. And it's been an honor to work with my fellow colleagues we have in Washington to try to make this a combined effort. One thing we've learned through this pandemic was it's unconscionable, absolutely unconscionable, that in this day and age, 2021, that during this pandemic, our children, often throughout West Virginia, whether that was Hardy, Hampshire County, or wherever, Randolph County in West Virginia, they would have to go to a fire station to get a Wi-Fi connection. They'd have to go to a school parking lot. This is unconscionable that we allowed this thing to happen. So I congratulate you on your aggressive behavior in putting this investment program together. Because if we're going to continue to be able to reach out and help our vets with telemedicine and telehealth, for PTSD or whatever those issues are, to allow telehealth and telemedicine to expand, we've needed this for a long, long time. So I would agree with Senator Manchin where we're talking about we have an infrastructure bill. As long as we can keep it separate from the social spending and just pass this infrastructure bill, we're going to be able to add even more to this program to be able to make sure that we have sewer and water lines, broadband, all available for West Virginia. So We do have an agenda ahead of us. The connectivity is very important for social welfare, how we all deal with each other when we're dealing with the opioid crisis and on and on and on. This thing you've hit is a home run in focusing on broadband. I thank you for that, and I thank you to the legislature for backing you up and continuing to support. We're going to do what we have to do. Carol and I work well together in Congress, and we're going to continue to see that we get more funds and more activity, more focus back into West Virginia. We deserve it. So God bless you, and God bless the state of West Virginia.
No, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll now hear from United States Congresswoman Carol Miller.
Good afternoon, everybody. Wow. Thank you, Governor Justice, for organizing this incredible, wonderful event today. This is a great day for West Virginia. This historic broadband investment will bring more connectivity, commerce, and opportunity to our state. Thank you, Mitch and Roger and Craig and all of you all in the legislature for your hard work and working together. It shows what we can do as West Virginians. And I'm just happy to be able to work on the federal level to help secure millions of dollars for this project as well. This type of leadership from Governor Justice is exactly what we need to propel our state forward. His vision and what we're accomplishing, I can't say thank you enough. I'm just so thrilled to be with all of you today to celebrate this news. God bless you all.
God bless you, Carol. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll now hear from West Virginia State Director of AARP, Gayleen Miller.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Governor Justice and members of the legislature. Like you, AARP has long supported the widespread deployment and adoption of high-speed internet across the Mountain State, with a particular emphasis on those areas that are currently unserved and are more rural areas of West Virginia. As others have said, we know that affordable, reliable, high-speed internet is no longer a luxury. It's an essential infrastructure. So I so appreciate the work that all of us have done together to pull the rope, as you like to say, Governor, to make sure that we have access to broadband that enhances the quality of life for all West Virginians as we age. And as others have mentioned as well, this proposal makes a significant investment in our state and our people. So I will tell you that AARP welcomes the opportunity to work with you, your administration, along with legislative leaders on this bold initiative to move West Virginia forward. Thank you all for your leadership and the opportunity to be here today.
Thanks so much.
Great, thank you. Next, we'll hear from CEO of Boone Memorial Hospital, Virgil Underwood.
Good afternoon. Thank you all very much for allowing me to be here. It's an exciting day for us in West Virginia. Thank you, Governor Justice. Thank you to our congressional delegation and to our state legislature. Improving the health outcomes of this community are at that goal is at the forefront of what Boone Memorial Hospital is trying to accomplish. And when we look at the social determinants of health, those cannot be addressed without affordable high-speed broadband internet. The limitations imposed by the lack of high-speed broadband do not end just at telehealth. They go to education and economic opportunities, access limitations. When you look at all that, all roads from where I sit lead to health. And so Boone County has about, I think it's less than half of our citizens that are broadband users. Additionally, our download speeds in Boone County are about 1/3 of what they are in other counties, even where we have it. And so the importance cannot be overstated. It is not simply a life-changing event or even a generational changing event, as Senator Manchin said. I think it's an event that will impact eternity for West Virginia. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Governor. So proud to be part of this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And that's a pretty profound statement. You know, impact eternity. That's pretty good. All right, before we go, I want to recognize Kelly Workman. She's a coordinator for all the broadband stuff. But Kelly, you got to come up here and at least let everybody see your face. You know,
She does a great job.
I'm sure she does a fabulous job, and keep coming now. Kelly, oh, thank you so much. Great job, great job. And last but not least, I want to offer up, and I know these fellows have never turned down talking, but Speaker Hanshaw, President Blair, have at it and tell us your thoughts.
Speaker Hanshaw.
Well, Governor, thank you. We have said at this table in this room and acknowledged before that the broadband backbone is to the 21st century economy what the interstate highways were to the 20th century economy. It's the way we move goods and services throughout America and throughout the world now. And if West Virginia is going to be a serious player in a 21st century economy, we have to make serious investments in the kind of infrastructure necessary to bring that into reality. So this is yet another step towards bringing West Virginia into a 21st century economic position. We want it known to all of the business interests out there around the world today that are looking to deploy capital and make investment and make expansions and recruit workers that West Virginia is, in fact, a player in the 21st century economy. Governor, we thank you for that vision.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Go to it, young man. You did pretty good on the singing. You ought to be doing good on this too. Oh, okay.
I didn't come prepared to speak, but it's real easy to speak about broadband in the state of West Virginia. Everything's been covered on that. What I want to do is actually thank your leadership, the leadership of the legislature. We're committed, and the people of West Virginia need to know this. They need to know that we're committed to fiber on the poles, broadband throughout the state of West Virginia. COVID has demonstrated this more to us than anything else, that it needs to be done. But we're in a position, we've got a state that is actually growing. We have prosperity in this state, and if we want to attract populations to this state and jobs to this state, broadband is essential to do that. And we get that. And we're in, as the governor has said, that we're in a financial position to be able to rebuild a state into what the 21st century. And I can't thank my colleagues enough from both sides of the aisle and the governor's office. And we do something that I believe that has not been done near enough in the past, and that we even still need to do better into the future. And that's communicate with each other and proactively take issues, whatever they may be, and address them as quick as we can for the people of West Virginia. We're doing a great job at that now. Brian's over here frowning at me for one reason or another. But the fact is that I can remember when one hand didn't know what the other hand was doing. That is not taking place in the state of West Virginia. And when it goes like that, you're not wasting time nor money. We work together, and Governor, you're the leader for being able to do that. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. And my chief of staff, Brian Abraham, here, he's worked hard. He's done a pretty dadgum good job. We're proud of him.
He's got the key
but nevertheless, again, whether it be Shelley or Joe, or it be Carol or David or Alex, and all those on the federal level that have helped in every way. And I refer to them on a first name basis because I appreciate their work, and all of us here do. But absolutely, these great people behind me and everything, and many more, are making great things happen in West Virginia. And so for them, I thank them, and we're going to continue to lead. We're going to continue to move forward, and by God, we are the best. And we just need to absolutely believe it and show it and be proud of that pond, because I'll tell you, this is the greatest place on earth, in my opinion. Thank y'all again in every way. God bless you. Thank you. Thank y'all.